everyone. Today I am going to discuss forensic science interview and common question will ask most of common question and answer. I am Dr. Anjani. Can you explain what forensic science is and its importance? Answer. Forensic science is the application of scientific method and techniques to investigate crime and examine evidence that can be presented in a court of law. It is important because it provides objective evidence that can help to solve crime, exonerate the incident, and ensure justice is. What is the main type? Question 2. What is the main type of forensic science discipline? Answer. The main type of forensic science discipline includes forensic biology, DNA analysis, forensic chemistry, drug and toxicology analysis, forensic pathology, autopsy and determining cause of death, forensic anthropology, identification of skeletal remains, digital forensic investigation of electronic devices, and forensic etymology, a study of the insects on decomposition. How do you ensure the integrity of the evidence during collection and analysis? क्वेश्चन 3 है, how do you ensure the integrity of the evidence during collection and analysis? Answer. To ensure the integrity of evidence, a strict chain of custody procedure are followed. This involves documenting every person who handles the evidence, using tamper evidence packaging, and maintaining secure storage conditions. Additionally, proper techniques and protocols are followed during evidence collection and analysis to prevent examination or loss of evidence. Question 4. What experience do you have with DNA analysis? Answer. I have experience with DNA extraction, quantification, amplification, and sequencing. I have worked with various types of sample, including blood, saliva, and tissue. I am proficient in using software for DNA profiling analysis and have testified as a expert witness in the court regarding the DNA. Question 5. How you can describe a challenging case you worked on and how you approach it? Answer. In one challenging case, the evidence was minimal and degraded. I meticulously applied advanced extraction technique to recover usable DNA. Collaborating with other forensic experts, I cross-reference the DNA with existing database, ultimately identify a suspect. This requires patience, precision, and extensive knowledge of forensic methodology. Question 6. How do you stay current with advancement in forensic science? Answer. I stay current by regularity attending workshops, seminars, and conferences. I subscribe to Forensic Science Journal and participate in professional organizations. Additionally, I take online courses and certification to keep up to date with new technology and methodology in science. What roles does forensic science play in the judicial system? Answer. Forensic science provides objective and scientific evidence that aids in the investigation and prosecution of crime. It helps establish facts, support witness testimony, and can link suspect to crime scene of victim. Forensic experts often testify in court to explain the evidence and its significance. Question 8. What step do you take to maintain the accuracy of your report? Answer. To maintain accuracy, I follow strict laboratory protocol and quality control measures. All analyses are carefully documented and results are reviewed by a peer or supervisor. I ensure that my reports are clear, concise, and support my data. Regular proficiency testing and accreditation standards also helps ensure equity. Question 9. Can you explain the difference between forensic anthropology and forensic pathology? Answer. Forensic pathology focus on the identification and analysis of skeletal remains to determine age, sex, ancestry, and any trauma or disease. Forensic pathology involves conducting autopsy to determine the cause and manner of death by examining tissue, organs, and body fluids. Next question is, how do you handle working under pressure or with tight deadline? Answer. I prioritize tasks and manage my time efficiency to meet deadline. I remain calm under pressure by focusing on the task at hand and maintaining a systematic approach to my work. Clear communication with my team and proper planning also help in managing high pressure situation. Question 11. What is your experience with forensic toxicology? Answer. I have extensive experience in forensic toxicology, including the analysis of biological sample, blood, urine, hair for the presence of drugs, alcohol, and poison. I am proficient in using techniques such as gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, GCMS, and liquid chromatography, mass spectrometry, LCMS to identify and qualify substances. I also interpret toxicology reports and can provide expert testimony regarding toxicology. Question 12. How do you handle and process digital evidence? Answer. Handling and processing the digital evidence involves following strict protocol to preserve the integrity of data. This includes creating forensic copy of the original media, using write blockers to prevent any changes, and documenting the entry process. I use specialized software tool to analyze data from computer, mobile devices, and other digital source media. I also ensure that all findings are thoroughly documented and Question 13. What software and tool are you familiar with for forensic analysis? Answer. I am familiar with several forensic tools, including but not limited to DNA analysis, CODs, GeneMapper, and STR-Mix, digital forensic in case, FTK forensic tools, X-ray forensic, and autopsy, toxicology, mass hunter, open lab and chem station. Crime scene reconstruction, cryo zone, eyewitness, and crime zone. How do you ensure that your expert testimony is clear and understandable to a lay audience? Answer: to ensure my testimony is clear and understandable, I use language and avoid technical jargon. I explain complex concepts using analogy and visual aids such as diagrams or charts to illustrate key points. I also practice my testimony to anticipate questions to ensure I can explain the evidence and clearly. Concisely and clearly. Question 15. What step do you take to avoid contamination at the crime scene? Answer: to avoid contamination at crime scene, I follow these steps. Wear personal protective equipment (PPE) such as gloves, mask, and shoe cover. Use single-use tools and equipment when possible. Follow a systematic approach to evidence collection, ensuring each item is properly documented and packaged separately. Minimize the number of personnel entering the crime scene. Establish a clear chain of custody and maintain a secure perimeter around the scene. Question 16. Can you describe your experience with crime scene investigation? Answer: I have extensive experience in crime scene investigation, including securing of crime scenes in documenting evidence through photography and sketch, and collecting physical evidence such as fingerprint, DNA, and trace material. I am trained in a various techniques for analyzing crime scene, including blood stain pattern analysis and trajectory reconstruction. I also work closely with law enforcement and other forensic experts to ensure a thorough investigation. Question 17. What challenges do you face in forensic science and how do you overcome them? Answer: challenges in forensic science include dealing with degraded or limited evidence, ensuring the accuracy and reliability of test results, and staying updated with technological advancement. I overcome these challenges by following rigorous protocol, continuously updating my skill uptaking my skill through education and training, and collaborating with other experts to ensure expensive cases. Question 18. How do you prioritize case when there is a high workload? Answer: I prioritize cases based on factors such as the severity of crime, legal deadline, and the potential impact on the ongoing investigation. Communication with law enforcement and legal terms help determine the urgency of each case. I also use project management techniques to organize tasks and ensure timely completion of highly priority cases. Question 90. What ethical considerations are important in forensic science? Answer: ethical considerations in forensic science include maintaining objectivity, avoid bias, ensuring the accuracy and integrity of evidence, and upholding confidentiality. Forensic scientists must provide honest and partial testimony, avoid conflicts of interest, and adhere to professional standards and guidelines. Question 20. Can you describe the time when you had to present complex forensic evidence in court? Answer. In one case, I had present complex DNA evidence linking a suspect to a crime scene. I prepared detailed visual aids to explain the DNA matching process, including how alleles are compared and the statistical probability of a match. I practiced my testimony to ensure clarity and anticipated questions from defense. During cross-examination, I remained composed and provided clear, concise answers, helping to jury understand the significance of DNA evidence. Question 21. How do you stay unbiased with analyzing evidence? Studying unbiased involved following strict scientific protocol and methodologies, ensuring all procedure and document and transparent. I avoid any preconceived notion about the case and case based by conclusion slowly on the evidence and data. Peer review and double checking result with colleges also help to maintain objectivity. Question 22. What experience do you have with forensic etymology? Answer. I have experience identifying insect found on decomposed body and estimating the postmortem interval PMI based on the life cycle of the insect. I have conducted field and laboratory research, collecting and analyzing a specimen to determine time since death and other relevant information. My findings have been used in both criminal investigation and court. Question 23. How do you handle sensitive or distressing case material? Answer. Handling sensitive and distressing material required professionalism and emotional resilience. I maintain a clinical approach to my work, focusing on the scientific aspects of the evidence, support from colleges, and access to counseling service can also help manage the emotional impact of such cases. Question 24. What technique do you use for fingerprint analysis? I use several analysis techniques for fingerprint analysis, including dusting for fingerprint with powder, lifting them with adhesive tape, chemical methods such as ninhydrin, cyanoacrylate fuming, super glue, and silver nitrate to reveal latent print. Digital enhancement using software like Adobe Photoshop and AFIS automatic fingerprint identification system to compare and identify print. Question 25. How do you approach continuing education and professional development in forensic science? Answer. Continuing education and professional development are critical in forensic science. I regularly attend workshops, seminars, and conferences. I also participate in online courses and obtain certification in a specialized area, engaging with professional organizations and regarding forensic science journals keep me informed about the latest research and advancement. Question 26. What role do you think technology will play in future of forensic science? Answer: technology will continue to revolutionize forensic science by improving the accuracy, efficiency, and scope of forensic analysis. Advances in DNA sequencing, digital forensic, and artificial intelligence will enhance the ability to analyze complex data and identify patterns. Technology will also facilitate better crime scene reconstruction and virtual autopsy, leading to more precise and reliable investigation. How do you handle discrepancies or conflicting results in your analysis? Answer: when discrepancy or conflicting result arises, I will put all procedure I will review all procedure and data thoroughly to identify any error in inconsistencies. I may repeat tests or use alternative method to verify result. Collaborating with colleges and seeking peer review can also help resolve conflicts and ensure the accuracy of finding. To question 28: can you describe your experience with forensic ballistics? Answer: I have experience analyzing firearm ammunition, and ballistic evidence. This includes examining bullet trajectory, identifying firearms types and calibers, and matching bullets and cartridge cases to specific weapons using comparison microscope. I also construct incidents and provide expert testimony regarding ballistic. Question 29: what do you think are about the biggest challenge facing forensic science today? Answer: some of the biggest challenges including handling and increasing volume and complexity of digital evidence, addressing the backlog of unprocessed forensic sciences, and ensuring the reliability and volatility of forensic science methods. Additionally, maintaining funding and resources, staying updated with rapidly advanced technology, and upholding ethical standards are ongoing challenges. Question 30: what do you ensure clear and effective communication with law enforcement and legal professionals? Answer: clear and effective communication involves using a straightforward language, avoiding technical jargon, and providing detailed, well-organized reports. Regular meetings and update with law enforcement and legal teams help ensure everyone is on the same page. I also make myself available to answer questions and provide explanations as need, both in written and oral format. Question 31: what is your experience with forensic odontology? Answer: I have experience in forensic odontology, which involves the examination of dental evidence for identification purposes. This includes comparing dental record with postmortem findings, analyzing bite mark, and assisting in mass disaster victim identification. I have worked with dental experts to compile and interpret dental evidence in criminal cases. Question 32. How do you prepare for presenting forensic evidence in court? Answer. Preparing for court involves thoroughly reviewing all cases materials, including evidence and reports. I practice my testimony, anticipate potential question, and prepare clear and concise explanation of my findings. I also create visual aids to help illustrate key points, consulting with legal professionals to understand the context and requirement of my testimony is also crucial. Question 33. What experience do you have with forensic anthropology? Answer. I have experience analyzing human skeletal remains to determine characteristics such as age, sex, ancestry, and any sign of trauma or disease. I used various techniques including osteometric analysis, radiographic comparison, and forensic facial reconstruction. My work in forensic anthropology has contributed to the identification of unknown individuals and the investigation of suspects. 34. Question 34. Can you discuss a case where your forensic analysis led to a significant breakthrough? Answer. In recent case, my analysis of trace evidence found at crime scene led to a significant breakthrough. My identifying unique fiber and soil particles. I was also able to link the suspect to multiple crime scenes. This evidence play a crucial role in the investigation, ultimately leading to the suspect arrest and conviction. Question 35. What experience do you have with forensic document examination? I have experience examining question document for authenticity, alteration, and forgery. This include analyzing handwriting, ink, paper, and printing technique. I use specialized tools such as magnifier, microscope, and UV light to detect consistencies. My findings have been used in both criminal and non-civil cases. 36. How do you manage and document the chain of custody for forensic evidence? Answer. Managing the chain of custody involves meticulously documenting every individual who handled the evidence, the time and date of each transfer, and condition under which the evidence is stored. I use tamper evidence packaging and secure storage facility to ensure the integrity of the evidence. Proper documentation and adherence to protocols are crucial to maintaining a clear record and unbroken custody. Question 37. What method do you use to reconstruct a crime scene? Answer. Crime scene reconstruction involves analyzing physical evidence, witness statement, and other data to recreate the events that occurred. I use techniques such as blood stain pattern analysis, trajectory analysis, and 3D modeling to visualize the scene. Collaboration with the other forensic expert and law enforcement helps ensure a comprehensive reconstruction. 38. Question. Can you explain the concept of Locard exchange principle and its significance in forensic science. Locard exchange principle states that whenever two objects come into contact, there is an exchange of materials between them. This principle is fundamental in forensic science as it means that a suspect will always leave some trace of evidence at the crime scene and take something away with them. This evidence can use to link suspect to crime scene and victim. Question 39. How do you handle and process biological evidence? Answer. Handling and processing biological evidence involves following strict protocol to prevent contamination. I use personal protective equipment PPE, collect samples using a sterile tool and package them in appropriate containers. Evidence is stored in conditions that preserve its integrity and all handling is documented in the chain of custody. I also perform analyses such as DNA extraction, qualification, and profiling. Question 40. What experience do you have with forensic psychology? Answer. While my primary expertise in the physical science, I have collaborated with forensic psychologists to understand the behavioral aspects of criminal cases. These include assessing the psychological profiling of suspects, understanding motives, and providing insights into criminal behavior. Such collaboration enhance the overall investigation and contribute to more comprehensive case analysis. Question 41. What is your experience with forensic botany? Forensic botany involves the study of plant materials such as evidence in criminal investigation. I have experience in analyzing plant fragments, pollen grain, seed, and other botanical evidences to link suspect to crime scene or to determine the geographical origin of the evidence ori- or origin identification. My work has helped in case involving outdoor crime scene and decomposed body. Question 42. How do you handle potential cross examination between samples? Answer. To prevent cross contamination, I use clean sterilite tool for each sample, change gloves frequently, and process only one sample at a time. I work in a controlled environment with clean workspace and use separate area for different types of evidence. Proper packaging and labeling also help prevent mix-up. Question 43. Can you explain the importance of forensic database in investigation? Answer. Forensic database such as CODs, combined DNA index system for DNA and AFIS automated fingerprint identification system for fingerprint are crucial for matching evidence from crime scene to unknown offenders. They facilitate the rapid identification of suspects, can link crime across between jurisdictions. Access to comprehensive database enhances the efficiency and effectiveness of forensic investigation. Question 44. What are the common challenges in presenting forensic evidence in court? Answer. Common challenges including explaining complex scientific concepts to lay audience, ensuring the credibility and reliability of the evidence, and facing rigorous cross-examination by defense attorneys. Preparation, clear communication, and use of visual aids can help address the challenge. Question 45. How do you ensure the validity and reliability of your forensic analysis? Answer. I follow a standardized protocol and methodology, use calibrated and validated equipment, and participate in regular proficiency testing, peer review of my work, and adherence to accreditation standards further ensure the validity and reliability of my analyses. Continuous education and training also help maintain high standards. Question 46. Can you discuss your experience with forensic toxicology in cases involving new psychoactive substance NPS? I have encountered cases involve NPS which are challenging due to their constantly evolving nature. I used advanced analytical techniques like LCMS, MS to identify and quantity these substances, staying updated with current trends and collaborating with toxicology networks helps in effectively analyzing and interpreting NPS in forensic cases. Question 47. How do you document and report your finding in forensic investigation? Answer. I document all steps of forensic process meticulously, including evidence collection, analyzing procedure, and results. My reports are detailed, clear, and include relevant data, observation, and conclusion. Visual aids such as chart and groups are used to enhance understanding. These reports are peer reviewed and follow legal and scientific standards. Question 48. What is your approach to handling complex forensic cases involving multiple types of evidence? Answer. Handling complex cases require a multidisciplinary approach. I collaborate with experts in various forensic disciplines, coordinates efforts, and integrate different types of evidence, example DNA, digital toxicology, to build comprehensive cases. Effective communication and organization are key to managing such cases. Question 49. How do you address potential bias in forensic analysis? Answer. I maintain objectivity by following strict scientific protocols and avoiding assumptions about the cases. Peer review and building testing where the analyst does not know cases details can also help to reduce bias. Continuous training in recognizing and mitigating cognitive bias is essential. Question 50. What are the key consideration in forensic anthropology when determining the identity of skeletal remains? Answer. Key consideration include examining the skeletal remains for indicators of age, sex, ancestry, and stature. pathological condition, trauma, and unique anatomical feature are also analyzed. Comparative analysis with dental record, medical histories, and other personal identifier helps in accurate identification of individuals. Question 51. How do you approach the investigation of arson cases? Answer. Arson investigation involves determining the fire's origin and cause. I analyze burn pattern, collection, and test fire debris for accelerants using techniques like GCMS and examine electrical system and appliances. Collaboration with fire investigators and reconstruction of the fire scene and critical components of investigation. Question 52. What are the ethical responsibility of a forensic scientist? Answer. Ethical responsibility include maintaining objectivity and impartiality, ensuring the accuracy and integrity of analyses, and providing honest and clear testimony. Forensic scientists must also respect confidentiality, avoid conflicts of interest, and adhere to professional and legal standards. Question 53. Can you explain your role in forensic cases review in cold case investigation? Answer. In forensic cases review and cold case investigation, I re-examine evidence using updated technologies and methods. I review past reports, the findings, identify the leads, and collaborate with law enforcement to uncover overlooked details. Fresh analysis can lead to new insights and potentially solve previously unresolved cases. Question 54. How do you handle situation where the forensic evidence contradicts other case elements? Answer. When forensic evidence contradicts other case elements, I review all data and procedure to ensure accuracy. I present my findings objectively and discuss the descriptions with investigator and legal terms. It is important to remain transparent and provide a thorough explanation of evidence and its emotion. Question 55. What step do you take to ensure the security of digital evidence? Answer. To ensure the security of digital evidence, I use encryption, secure storage, and access control. Digital evidence is handled with re-blocking tools to prevent alteration, and all activities are logged. Regular audits and adherence to cybersecurity best practices help maintain the integrity and security of digital. Question 56. What experience do you have with forensic engineering? Answer. Forensic engineering involves analyzing structural failure, accident, and product defect. I have experience in investigating building collapse, vehicle accident, and mechanical failure. This includes examining material, reviewing, designing, and maintaining record, and conducting simulation to determine cause of failure. We also investigate the types of cement used and the building materials also used in the construction of building. Question 57. How do you approach forensic investigation involving wildlife crime? Answer. Wildlife forensic investigation involving analyzing evidence related to poaching, trafficking, and illegal trade of wildlife. I examine animal remain, DNA, and other biological materials to identify species of origin. Collaboration with wildlife conservation agency and use of specialized techniques help in solving these cases. Question 58. Can you discuss a time when your forensic analysis directly impacted the outcome of the case? Answer. In one notable case, my analysis of fiber evidence was found at a crime scene. Match fiber from the suspect vehicle, placing them at the scene. This crucial link, combined with other evidence, led to the suspect conviction. My detailed report and testimony were pivotal, pivotal in securing a guilty verdict. Question 59. How do you handle discrepancy between forensic evidence and witness testimonies? Answer. When discrepancies arise, I focus on the objective forensic evidence which often provides more reliable information. I present my finding clearly and explain how they are obtained, allow the court to consider the evidence alongside witness testimonies. Collaboration with legal teams help address and resolve these discrepancies. Question 60. What role does accreditation play in forensic laboratory and how do you contribute to it? Answer. Accreditation ensures that forensic laboratory meet high standard of quality and reliability. I contribute by adhering to accredited protocols, participating in audits, and maintaining proficiency in my analysis. Continuous improvement and compliance with accreditation requirement help maintain the laboratory credibility and trustworthiness. What techniques do you use for blood stain pattern analysis? Answer. Blood stain pattern analysis involves examining the size, shape, distribution, and location of blood stain to understand the events that cause them. Techniques include visual analysis, accessing the overall pattern and individual stains, straightening, using straits to determine the angle of impact and point of origin, photographic documentation, capturing details image of blood stain, chemical enhancement, using regards like luminol to reveal latent blood stains. These methods help reconstruct the crime scene and provide insights into the action that occurred. Question 62. How do you approach cases involving forensic genetics? Answer. Forensic genetics involve analyzing DNA from biological samples to identify individuals. My approach includes DNA extraction, DNA extraction and quantification, isolating and measuring the DNA from sample, PCR amplification, amplifying specific regions of DNA for analysis, STR analysis, examine short tandem repeats to generate DNA profiles. Comparison and interpretation, matching DNA profile with unknown samples and interpreting the results. Forensic genetics can solve cases of unidentified remains, paternity disputes, and criminal investigation. Question 63. What are the challenges of analyzed trace evidence? Dance, how do you overcome them? Answer. Challenging of analyzing trace evidence includes its small size, potential contamination, and complex mixture. I overcome these challenges by using high sensitivity instruments like microscope and spectrophotometer, following strict contamination control procedure, employing meticulous sample preparation and separation techniques, collaborating with other experts for accurate identification and interpretation throughout documentation and adherence to protocol ensure reliable analysis. Question 64. Can you explain the role of a forensic scientist in a multidisciplinary investigation team? Answer. A forensic scientist in a multidisciplinary teams provide a specialized expert to support the investigation. This include analyzing physical and digital evidence, collaborating with law enforcement, medical examiner, and other forensic experts, offering insight into the scientific aspects of the case, presenting findings in a clear and understandable manner. The forensic scientist's role is to provide objective, evidence based information that can aid in solving the case and supporting legal proceedings. Question 65. What experiments do you have with forensic linguistics? Answer. Forensic linguistics involves analyzing language used in legal contexts. I have experience examining written and spoken communication to identify authorship of anonymous texts, analyze treatments, and interpret linguistic evidence in legal dispute, provide expert testimony in linguistic finding. Techniques include stylistic analysis, disclosure analysis, and computational linguistics to reveal pattern and characteristics of the language used. Question 66. How do you ensure the prevention of evidence during transport and storage? Answer. To ensure evidence prevention during transport and storage, I follow these practices. Use appropriate packaging material to protect evidence from contamination and damage. Maintain a documented chain of custody to track evidence. Handling store evidence in secure climate control environments. Follow specific guidelines for different types of evidence. Example, biological samples in cold storage. These measures help preserve the integrity and reliability of the evidence throughout the investigation. What question 67? What method do you use to analyze tool marks and impression? Answer: tool marks and impression analysis involve examining mark left by tool or object on surface. Say in method include microscopic examination using comparison microscope to match tool marks with suspected tool. Casting and modeling, creating cast of impression for detail analysis. Digital imaging, enhancing the comparing marks using software. Database comparison, check tool marks and against noun sample in databases. These techniques help identify the tool used in crime and link them to a specific incident. Question 68. How do you handle cases involving forensic etymology in various climates and environments? Answer: forensic etymology involves studying insect activity on decomposing remains in varying climates and environment. I collect and identify suspect specimen from the scene, analyze the life cycle and development stage of insect, consider environmental factor, temperature, humidity, and effects affect insect activity. Use reference data to refer climate to estimate the postmortem interval PMI. Adapting method to the specific condition of the case, ensuring accurate and reliable analysis. 69. What is your experience with forensic art and facial reconstruction? Answer: forensic art and facial reconstruction involving creating visual representation of unidentified individuals. My experience includes composite sketch, working with witnesses to create a sketch of suspect, facial approximation, using skull remains to construct facial feature, age progression, modifying image to show progression of missing person, digital reconstruction, using software to enhance and refine facial construction. These techniques aid in identifying unknown individuals and generating leads in investigation. Question 70. How do you stay current with advancements in forensic science technology? Answer: studying current with advancement involving regularly attending professional conferences and workshops, participating in continuous education and certification programs regarding scientific journal and publication, networking with colleagues and experts in the field, engaging in research projects and contributing to the development of new methodology. Continuous learning and adaptation of new technology ensure that my forensic practices remain up to date of effect. Question 71. What role do forensic scientists play a postmortem examination? Answer: Forensic scientists assist in post-mortem examination by analyzing biological sample for toxicological and DNA evidence, examine injury and cause of death, documenting finding with detailed reports of photographs, providing expertise in a specialized area, example forensic odontology, anthropology. Their contribution help determine and cause and manner of death, support legal investigation, and provide crucial evidence. Question 72. How do you address the challenges of uh, working with degraded or limited evidences? Answer: working with degraded or limited evidence involves using advanced techniques like polymerase chain reaction (PCR) to amplify small amounts of DNA, employing high sensitive instruments for trace analysis, carefully preserving and handling samples to prevent further degradation, combining multiple lines of evidence to build a comprehensive case, meticulous attention to detail and innovative approaches help maximize the information obtained from compromised evidence. What is your experience with forensic economics? Forensic economics involve analyzing financial and legal cases. Financial data for legal cases. My experience includes investigating fraud analysis, embezzlement, and financial crime. In analyzing economic damage in personal injury and wrongful death cases, evaluating business valuations and lost profits, providing expert testimony on financial finding. Techniques includes data analysis, financial modeling, and reviewing accounting records to uncover financial irregularities and support legal. Question 74. How do you handle forensic case involving cultural and legal differences in international investigation? Answer: international forensic investigation requires sensitivity to cultural and legal differences. I handle these cases by collecting with local experts and authorities to understand cultural contexts and legal requirements. Adhering to international standards, the best practices, respecting local customs and regulation while conducting forensic analysis, ensuring clear communication and documenting the breach differences, cultural awareness and adherence to legal protocols to essential for effective international forensic investigations. Can you discuss your experience with forensic audio and video analysis? Forensic audio and video analysis involves examining recordings for authenticity and content. My experience include enhancing and clarifying audio recording to identify speaker and content. Audio recording to identify speaker and content, analyzing video footage for authenticity, frame by frame analysis and content extraction using software tool for audio video enhancement and comparison, providing expert testimony on the finding. These analyses help to verifying evidence, identifying suspect and supporting investigation. Question 76. What techniques do you use for soil analysis in forensic cases? Answer. Soil analysis can link a suspect or object to a crime scene. Techniques includes microscopic analysis, examining soil particles for unique characteristics, chemical analysis using techniques like X-ray fluorescence, XRF to identify elemental composition. Mineral analysis, identifying specific minerals using prioritized light microscopy. Biological analysis, studying microorganisms and pollen with soil samples. These methods to help establish connection between location and identify soil's origin. How do you handle and analyze forensic evidence involving hazardous material? Answer. Handling hazardous material requires Handling hazardous material required strict safety protocol, protective equipment, unique gloves, mask, and protective clothing, securing storage, storing hazardous evidence in designated secure area, specialized training, being trained in handling and analyzing hazardous material, control environment, conducting analysis in lab equipment to handle such materials. Following these protocols ensure the safety of personnel and the integrity of the. Question 78. What is your experience with forensic odontology? Forensic odontology involves the study of dental evidence. Experience include identify human remains, comparing dental record with recovered teeth, bite mark analysis, comparison bite marks on victim and with suspect dental impression, age estimation, estimating age being on dental development and wear, dental profiling using unique dental characteristic to aid identification. This specialization assists the identifying individuals and analyzing patterns. Can you explain the process of analyzing digital evidence in cybercrime investigation? Analyzing digital evidence involves several steps. Evidence preservation, using right blocker to data prevent data alteration, data extraction, recovering data from various digital devices, analysis using software tool to examine metadata and log files, interpretation, identifying relevant information and linking it to the crime, reporting, documenting finding in a clear and comprehensive report. These steps ensure a thorough and legally sound analysis of digital evidence. How do you address ethical dimensions in forensic investigation? Answer. Ethical dimensions are addressed by adhering to professional codes of conduct, following established ethical guidelines, objectivity, maintaining impartiality, and avoiding bias, transparency, documenting all procedures, and finding meticulously, consultation, seeking advice from colleges and ethical committees when faced with complex issues, continuous education, stay informed, and ethical standard and best practice. Ethical integrity is crucial for credibility and reliability of what What are they consideration in forensic archaeology? Forensic archaeology involves the study of human remains and artifacts in a legal context. Key consideration include site preservation, protecting the integrity of the archaeological site, systematic excavation, carefully documenting and recovering remains and artifacts, contextual analysis, understanding the relationship between discovered item and the site, collaboration, working with anthropologists, pathologists, and law enforcement, interpretation, providing insight into historical and modern forensic cases. These practices ensure accurate and respectful handling of archaeological evidence. How do you manage the stress associated with working to a traumatic cases? Managing stress involving several strategies, professional support, seeking consulting or support from colleges and mental health professionals, work-life balance, maintaining a healthy balance between work and personal life, physical activity, engaging regular exercise to reduce stress, mindfulness and relaxation technique, practicing meditation and relaxation exercise, professional development, containing education and training to build resilience. These strategies help maintain mental well-being and professional effectiveness. What role do forensic scientists play in wildlife crime investigation? Forensic scientists help investigate wildlife crime by identifying species using DNA analysis to identify seized animal product, analyzing evidence, examine items like tusk, skin, and bones for legal violation, collaborating with authorities, working with wildlife enforcement agency to gather and interpret evidence, providing expert testimony, presenting findings in court to support prosecution. This expertise aids in combating illegal wildlife trade and protecting endangered species. 84. Can you discuss a case whether forensic etymology provided crucial evidence? Answer. In a notable case, no, forensic etymology helped establish to the time of death by analyzing insect activity on the decomposed body, by identifying the species of of insects present in their development stage. I was able to establish a postmortem interval which contradicted the suspect's LB and provided critical evidence for prosecution. This analysis played a key role in securing 85. How do you approach the analysis of gunshot residue GSR in forensic cases? Analyzing gunshot residues Analyzing gunshot residue involves sample collection, swabbing of suspect hand, clothing, and nearby surfaces. Microscopic analysis using scan electron microscopy SEM to identify GSR particles. Chemical analysis says employing techniques like energy dispersion, X-ray energy dispersive X-ray spectroscopy EDS to determine the elemental composition of GSR interpretation, assessing the presence and distribution of GSR to determine if a person has recently fired a gun. Proper collection and analysis protocols ensure reliable results that can suspect from fire discharge. What are the challenges of analyzing evidence from clandestine drug laboratories? Answer: challenges include hazardous conditions, dealing with toxic chemicals and unsafe environment, contamination risk, preservation, cross contamination during evidence collection, complex mixtures, analyzing mixture of various chemicals and drug safety protocols, following strict safety guidelines to protect personnel by adhering to rigorous safety and potential protocol. These challenges can be effectively managed, ensuring accurate and safe analysis. 87. How do you ensure the accuracy and reliability of forensic handwriting analysis? Answer: ensuring accuracy involves comprehensive training, being well versed in forensic document examination techniques, detailed comparison, analyzing handwriting sample for unique characteristics, peer review, having analyzed review by other experts, use of technology, employing software tools for data comparison and measurement, documentation, maintaining throughout records of findings and methodology. These practices help establish the credibility and reliability of handwriting analysis in forensic investigation. What experience do you have with forensic geoscience? Forensic geoscience involves analyzing geological materials like soil, minerals, and rock. My experience includes soil analysis, linking soil samples to a specific location, mineral identification, determining the source of minerals found at crime scene. Geospatial analysis using geographic information system GIS to analyze a spatial pattern. Environmental forensic investigating environmental crimes such as legal dumping. Forensic geoscience help conduct evidence to location and understand the environmental context of crime. 89. How do you handle forensic investigation involving historical cases? Answer. Historical forensic investigation require reviewing old records, analyzing historical records and evidence, using modern nets, applying current forensic methodology to recap evidence, interdisciplinary collaboration, working with historians, archaeologists, and other experts, contextual understanding, considering the historical and cultural context of the case. These approaches help uncover new insights and resolve long-standing mysteries. Question 90. What roles does forensic science play in disaster victim identification (DVI)? Answer. Forensic science is crucial by DVI by collecting DNA samples from remains from family members for comparison, dental records using dental evidence to identify victims, fingerprint analysis, matching fingerprint to known record, personal effects analyzing belongs to aid identification, interdisciplinary coordination, collaborating with multiple forensic and disaster response team. Forensic science provides essential tools and methods for accurately identifying victims to mask causality event. What technique do you use for forensic fiber analysis? Answer. Forensic fiber analysis involving examining textile fiber found at crime scene. Techniques include microscopic examination using light and comparison microscope to analyze fiber morphology and color, chemical analyzing, applying techniques such as Fourier transform, infrared spectroscopy, FTIR to identify fiber compression, dye analysis, using methods like thin layer chromatography (TLC) to compare dye composition, comparison with known sample, matching fiber found at the scene with fiber with suspects of objects. These techniques help link suspect or objects to crime scene based on fiber evidence. Question 92. How do you handle cases involving forensic meteorology? Forensic meteorology involves analyzing weather conditions at this time of crime. My approach includes historical weather data, gathering data from weather stations, satellites, and other sources, analysis of weather patterns, examining temperature, precision, wind, and other factors relevant to the case, impact assignment, determining how weather conditions could have affected the crime scene or evidence, expert testimony, providing weather related results in courts. This analysis helps establish environment conditions that could influence crime scene or witness events. Question 93. What method do you used for forensic footwear and tire trade analysis? Thread analysis. Forensic footwear and tire thread analysis involves impression collection using casting materials or electrostatic dust lifter to collect impression. Comparison microscopy comparing collected impression with known footwear or tire tread. Wear pattern analysis examining wear pattern to match specific shoe or tires. Database searches checking impression against databases of known trade pattern. These methods help identify the source of impression and I link them to suspect. How question 94. How do you approach forensic exam investigation involving intellectual property IP theft? Investigating IP theft involved evidence collection, gathering digital and physical evidence of infringement, forensic analysis, examining digital files, emails, and documents for prevent the IP theft, collaboration with experts, working with legal and industry experts to understand IP implication, reporting, providing details, report, and expert testimony on findings. This approach ensures through investigation and suspect support legal action to protect intellectual property. Question 95. What experience do you have with forensic document examination? Answer. Forensic document examination involves analyzing document for authenticity and alteration. My foreign evidence include handwriting analysis, comparing handwriting sample to identify authorship, ink and paper analysis using techniques like chromatography and spectrometry to analyze ink and paper, detection of alteration, identifying erasure, addition or forgery using specialized equipment, typewriting and printing analysis, examining typewritten or printed document for unique characteristics. These methods help verify document authenticity and detect tampering or forgery. Question 96. How do you handle case involving forensic audio authentication? Answer. Forensic audio authentication involves verifying the authenticity of the audio recording. My approach including a spectral analysis, examining the frequency spectrum of the audio recording, waveform analysis, analyzing the waveform and for sign of editing and tampering, metadata examination, reviewing metadata, consideration, consistency or anomaly, comparison with original recording, comparing suspect recording with known original. This comprehensive analysis ensures the integrity of audio evidence used in reading. Question 97. What techniques do you use for forensic anthropology? Answer. Forensic anthropology involves analyzing human skeletal remains. Technique involve skeletal analysis, determining sex, age, ancestry and stature formed skeletal remains. Trauma analysis examining bone for sign of injury or disease. Facial reconstruction, reconstructing facial feature from skull, taphonomic segment, study postmortem changes to understand the condition and timeline of decomposition. These methods help identify individual and determine the circumstances surrounding their death. How do you handle forensic investigation involving arson and fire debris analysis? Answer: arson investigation and fire debris analysis involve the scene examination, identifying burn pattern and potential point of origin, sample collection, gathering fire debris and accelerant residue, laboratory analysis using gas chromatography, mass spectrometry, GCMS to identify accelerants, fire dynamic analysis, understanding fire behavior and spread. These techniques help determine the cause of the fire and identify potential acro. Question 99. What roles does forensic science play in cold case investigation? Forensic science play a crucial role in cold case investigation by re-examining evidence using modern technique to reanalyze old evidence, DNA analysis applying advanced DNA technology to identify suspect or victims, digital forensic analyzing digital evidence that may not have been available at the time of the crime. Digital forensic analyzing digital evidence that may not have been available at the time of the crime. Interdisciplinary collaboration, working with other forensic experts to generate new leads. The efforts can uncover new evidence and lead to the resolution of long unsolved cases. How do you ensure the quality and accuracy of forensic toxicology results? Answer: ensuring quality and accuracy. Ensuring quality and accuracy in forensic toxicology involves quality control, implementing rigorous quality control procedure and standards, calibration, regularly calibrating instrument to ensure accurate measurements, proficiency testing, participating in external proficiency testing program, method validation, validating analytical method to ensure reliability, documentation, maintaining detailed record of all procedure and result. These practices ensure reliable toxicology results that are admissible in courts. I hope thank you for giving attention. Please like, share, subscribe of my content and more educational content. Like, share and subscribe.